GOP strategist Jack Burkman. Jack, go ahead. So it's a few $1 billion they seem to drop every year. Why do you want them out?
Oh boy, well, it's a few billion. Who even cares anymore? There's so much waste, Eric. Most of these guys working in the post office should be driving cabs, and I think we should stop importing labor from Nigeria and Ethiopia. That's about the skill level. They're only in there because of massive union protection. I mean, with the success of something like FedEx, how could anybody? Where is the argument that we should have a monopoly with this thing? I mean, you want to know why Congress keeps the post office around? You know, you really want to know why I think a lot of members name big post offices after themselves. This is like a thing for ceremonial and memorial waste. If you ride the Amtrak to New York, one of the biggest post offices in Newark, it's the Frank Lautenberg post office. This guy isn't even dead. He's the senior senator from New Jersey. And can you imagine somebody who hasn't even died yet has named a post office after themselves?
Well, I think there's a lot more, there's precedent set for naming things after people who aren't quite dead yet. But I'm holding up a card, Jack. You may not be able to see it, but 2010, it's estimated the post office is going to drop $7 billion again in 2011. But, you know, you point out FedEx, $1 billion profit in FedEx and a $2 billion profit in UPS. So what do you suggest we do? We just unravel, send mail delivery privately?
If I were President of the United States, I would cease all federal funding and or involvement and or pressure and or anything with the mail service. There is no argument, no good argument as to why the government should be behind some kind of federal monopoly in the mail service. I mean,
hang in there, Jack. Hang in there, Jack. I want to bring in my all-star panel. I got to go. And Senator, prices up 15% in the last 3 years, but you know what? The post office is delivering something around 36 billion fewer pieces of mail. Prices up. They're working less. Government bureaucracy at its best.
Listen, Jack would have done well without all the name calling. Okay? He makes a point, and the private sector and technology today makes available what no one envisioned that could possibly take place, and that is being able to deliver communications, mail, etc., messages that are imperative throughout the whole nation. Today, it can be done.
It can be done, Senator,
and it probably should be privatized.
Should be privatized. $7 billion. They're losing a lot of money.
Well,
hold on, Jack.
Jack,
hold on. Go ahead, Essie.
Tell me this isn't a government operation. I mean, I haven't been inside a post office in 5 years. I mean, there's no need. My bank, I can deposit a check by taking a photograph of the check with my phone and emailing it to my bank. It's time the post office come into the 21st century if they want to make a profit.
You haven't been to a post office in 5 years, right?
No.
Have you been to a McDonald's in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Take a look at this full screen, you guys. This threw us for a loop. We couldn't believe this number. I hope we have it. Tamara, post offices, almost triple the amount of post offices in the United States than there are McDonald's.
That's shocking.
Are you pro-post office? Can you defend it at all? There it is.
I think it's hard to defend any of this these government-run operations. I think that we need to privatize Homeland Security as well, and the post office is one of those things where it looks like there's a lot of waste going on. But I think that whomever was speaking, Jack, buddy Jack, you know, like the senator said, making all of these somewhat racist statements about Nigeria.
Wait a minute. All I said was that.
Let me just finish.
That's crazy.
It's a spinning of sorts. This has nothing to do with whether somebody should be driving a taxi cab or not. This has to do with government waste and whether or not we need to close down post offices.
Let me stand behind my two allegations here because I think they're grounded in nothing but fact. A, I believe it is more than grotesque for a living person to use federal funding to put his name on a post office so that everybody on the Amtrak could see it. And yes, I do allege that is a major motivation. For why the Congress wants to do that. That's number one. Number two, most of the people employed by the United States Post Office, in my view and in the view of most economists, are thoroughly unskilled labor. That is why I allege they should be bumped down to driving cabs, and we should stop importing labor to drive cabs.
You are a nasty racist when you begin to bring that. Well, I'm going to just make my observation. I have a right to do it. You brought in the fact there's a bunch of Nigerians. Now, wait a minute.
Go ahead, sir.
Eric, let me just tell you, that's a bunch of bullshit. And you should be ashamed of yourself and have your mouth washed out. What the hell are you talking about?
We are
It's one
importing.
thing
Let me
to say
defend
that they're
Let
out of
me- let me
control.
defend
Wait
that.
a
We are
minute.
importing.
You shut up. I listen to your racist bullshit. It's one thing to say that they're hiring people who are unskilled, that you can save money, that you can run it better, that it is inefficient, ineffective, and I agree to all of those things. But for you to bring in this bullshit about, oh, a bunch of Nigerians, etc., it's out of line.
All right.
And
My
you
comment
hurt the
was that we are-
cause.
my comment
You
is a
hurt
true
the
comment.
cause. You hurt the cause of saying, guess what? A combination of private-public.
The United States.
Private-public
let me make the broader
partnership
argument.
could do much better than what is being done now.
Senator, last word, Jack. We got to go. Go ahead.
If you want to have the debate, the reality is that many in the American quote-unquote middle, like postal workers, are really unskilled labor who should have been pushed down for market reasons. But because of union and government pressures, we import labor at the bottom and we keep these people here. That's a very true statement.
Jack, we're going to leave it there. We're going to say thank you to you for joining us. We kind of went postal on this.